welcome to Edmonton Dermatology YouTube channel. We're so glad you joined us today. Today we're going to be talking about skin tags and seborrheic keratosis. And I'm here with Andrea, a registered LPN here at the Edmonton Dermatology Clinic. And she's going to break this down for us and kind of give us some terminology, understanding, because there's some big words there.
Yes.
But I'm going to start with a quote from Erno Laszlo, and he said that beautiful skin requires commitment, not a miracle. I think that's actually
very true.
Yeah,
very true.
Yeah, everyday care, exactly. And if we're talking about skin tags in particular, I found out that they're actually more common in women than men. That was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Just assumed.
I do find that men have a tendency to want to get rid of them faster, and they tend to like to get rid of them themselves. Don't do that, please.
No.
All those Google tricks and Pinterest tricks, they're a little dangerous, people. So please come and talk to us instead before you try to remove them yourselves, please. And we'll kind of go into why that's important.
Yes, that's actually a good point, though. Okay, well, let's back up. What are skin tags?
So, skin tags are these overgrowths of skin cells, essentially, and literally they flap in the wind. They tend to be very common around the neck. People can get them in their underarms, in the groin area. They can get them behind their knees. You can also get them right around your eyelids. Now, sometimes the ones around the eyelids don't really flap in the wind like the rest of the ones do, but they tend to be very just kind of small little dots that are just slightly discolored. Some of them can still be skin colored, but they're just like more felt than actually seen. So they tend to be a little more annoying. They get caught on things, and so they're more just this extra overgrowth of skin cells.
Oh, okay. And why do the skin tags grow?
So we actually have no idea. I have tried to research and figure this out, why skin tags happen. There is no definitive answer. You can ask most dermatologists, they may say it's just irritation. Some may say it's just a genetic thing. It's probably a mix of all of it. But again, we still don't know why. It's not from sunburn, it's not from taking care of your skin, it just, they happen. So I tend to like to blame it on genetics. So you can blame your parents for that.
If they have it, that you'll probably get
Yeah, exactly.
Or more likely anyway.
Yes.
So are skin tags dangerous then?
Not necessarily, but you do need to keep in mind, and this is why I don't want you guys at home trying to remove them, or ladies at home, please don't try to remove them, because if they are bleeding and crusting on their own without you touching them or without any sort of irritation, that is signs of a possible skin cancer. So that is very, very important that you come and see a dermatologist. Here at Edmonton Dermatology, we do require a referral from your family doctor to be seen by a dermatologist. So removing something that is bleeding and crusting on its own is a big no-no, because then we can't determine what it actually is. Now, most skin tags, they just kind of linger there, they stay there. Yes, they can get bigger, or they just kind of stay stagnant. They don't move, they just kind of hang out, literally.
Yeah, they stay still.
They stay still.
So how do you treat those skin tags then? What do you do for them?
So again, it depends on if they're a little bit more flat or if they actually like flap in the wind. What I do is usually electrocautery. So cautery uses electricity just to kind of burn them off on the surface. So these grow literally on the very top of your skin. So they don't have any roots or anything that we have to worry about. Now, sometimes when they're flat like that, I will cauterize them. When they're a little bit flappy, then I can cauterize them. Or if they're quite large, which tends to happen a lot in the underarm area or the axilla, or even in the groin, when they're larger, we actually numb them up with anesthetic, so local anesthetic, and we actually snip them off. Now, all of that is done under a very clean technique, so low risk of infection.
Oh, good. Of course, yeah. That's good. Can skin tags be permanently removed?
So yes, as soon as you remove one, it should not grow back in the same spot, but because you are prone to growing these, you are going to grow more. Okay, so don't be alarmed if you come in for a treatment for skin tags and then all of a sudden a few years down the road you're starting to grow more. That's just a natural thing that happens to us humans. We tend to grow them no matter what.
Okay. Is there any way to prevent skin tags?
Again, unfortunately not. No creams, no other magical serum is going to help actually stop them from growing. It's just a matter of maybe catching them before they get too big. So when they're smaller, they are easier to treat. Once they start getting into the larger areas, then it's a little bit harder. Obviously, like I said, you do have to snip them to get them removed. So when they're smaller, it's much quicker to get them gone.
Okay.
Yeah, but then once they're gone, those spots are gone.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next big word here, big phrase. What is seborrheic keratosis?
Good job.
Oh, that was hard. Thanks.
It is a big medical term, and short term that we use are SKs, but seborrheic keratoses are benign spots. What they are essentially is an overgrowth of dead skin cells. So naturally on the top of our skin, we all have dead skin cells. So that's what you see on everybody. But what happens is as we get older, the skin cells don't naturally flake off like they're supposed to. So instead they accumulate. So another term for this is a lot of people call them age spots. Or I call them experience spots. They're kind of like barnacles. They kind of show up all over the place. For women, they tend to grow in around the breast area. Men, you get them a lot on the back. You can get them on the face and stuff like that too. But again, they are benign, so they're nothing too worrisome.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Okay. So why do seborrheic keratosis grow?
That's another thing, just like the skin tags, we are not really sure why that happens. We think it's kind of age-related. Again, I've kind of done some research into this, and yeah, they say it's more age-related, just the way that our skin is supposed to naturally flake off. It just doesn't happen or occur as frequently as we get older. So it's just one of those things. Again, it's genetics also. If your parents had it, more likely you're going to get them. Where though, like I said, they kind of are all over the place, so it could be in any spot.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Are seborrheic keratosis dangerous?
No, they are not, but keep in mind, like I said for skin tags, if it is bleeding or crusting on its own, then it's something that definitely needs to be seen by a dermatologist. So again, here at Edmonton Dermatology, we do require a referral to our clinic. So go see your family doctor. If they are concerned that it is bleeding and crusting on its own, then they can certainly refer you. Keep in mind, seborrheic keratoses can get irritated. So if you're scratching it and you make it bleed, that is not what I'm considering as dangerous. If you leave it alone and then all of a sudden it just starts bleeding randomly, that's concerning. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, you have to keep in mind the coloring of the seborrheic keratosis. So most of the time, these are kind of brownish, grayish. They're kind of lumpy, bumpy. But if you do notice there's like really dark black coloring, that is definitely something that you need to have a dermatologist check out to make sure it's nothing worrisome.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. So how do you treat seborrheic keratoses?
So it depends on how large they are or how small they are, stuff like that. Mostly I prefer to use cautery. There are some dermatologists out there that do prefer to use laser, so it all just depends on who you're going to see for treatment. So I like to use cautery because again, this type of spot, seborrheic keratosis, actually is right on the surface of the skin. So there's no roots or anything that go deep, so I don't have to worry about having to go in there and dig for anything. So just kind of lightly burn the surface of the seborrheic keratosis. It gets kind of crusty, and it just eventually peels off in a few days.
Okay. All right. Can sorry, got that wrong now. I knew there was going to be one time. Can seborrheic keratosis be permanently removed?
Yes. So as soon as you get that off, that's it. It's gone. Okay.
Oh.
But again, just like skin tags, you're prone to growing them, so you're going to grow more later. Again, it's also easier to treat them when they're smaller, so it's quicker to kind of get rid of them and they don't get into the larger spots.
Okay. How do you prevent seborrheic keratosis?
Yeah, so like I said, seborrheic keratosis, it's kind of this accumulation of the dead skin cells on the surface of your skin. Moisturizer actually helps quite a bit with that. And if you get them a lot on the face, a retinol cream can actually help a lot because it will help make sure that the skin naturally just flakes off like it's supposed to. So retinols are also good for fine lines and wrinkles, so there's an added bonus to that. So just make sure that everything kind of cycles through properly. You're getting that natural shedding. Even though you don't see it, you won't rub it off. It will just kind of gently keep those at bay. So you get them removed, and then we start you on some good skincare to make sure they don't happen again.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for answering all those big words and questions about them. Actually given us a lot of good information.
Awesome.
If you guys liked what you saw, give the video a thumbs up And don't forget to subscribe to the Edmonton Dermatology YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest information for your skin.
Please do.
Thanks. Have a great day.